But first, a look at some developing news this morning. Now, Gatundu South MP Gabriel Gadhuka Kagombe, alias Gigi Kagombe, was yesterday arraigned in Machakos High Court for the offence of murder, contrary to Section 203, as read with Section 204 of the Penal Code. Judge Justice Rayola directed that the accused be detained at Muthaiga Police Station as he awaits a mental health assessment on Wednesday before taking plea. He is Electin Odera with more on that developing story.
According to the particulars in court, Gatundu South MP Gabriel Kagombe is accused of the offence that on May 17, 2024, at around 4:30 p.m. at the Kimochu area in Makongeni, Thika West, Kiambu County, he murdered David Nduati Wataha.
And since it was given ex parte and a date was given for inter-party hearing, there's nothing that stops the state from charging when investigations are complete. And therefore, my lordship, that this person cannot be released to be escorted from his home to be taken for mental assessment.
While making the ruling that will see Kagombe's mental health assessed before taking plea, Judge Francis Rayola directed that the accused be detained.
I do therefore order that the accused person is taken to Kiambu Level 5 Hospital on Wednesday, 5th of June, to have the assessment done.
In his defense, Kagombe, who was represented by a battery of lawyers and didn't take a plea, questioned the state to lay bare reasons for his transfer to Machakos law courts, even as the case was still handled by DCI.
When asked for the particulars of the offence was committed somewhere in Thika.
The accused stated that the staff was not acting in good faith and it violated the constitution as he is a member of parliament.
Arrested blatantly.
The state asserted that the accused was granted anticipatory bail as he was apprehensive of arrest by police, with his defense lawyers stating that the doctors should have conducted a mental health assessment over the weekend since he was arrested on Friday.
You can't run away from this mandate. Deciding the people of Gatundu South. You have to set something ready to abide by any conditions the court may give.
They argued that his transfer to Machakos will make investigation an expensive affair, as he had successfully obtained an anticipatory bond granted by the Kiambu Law Court.
If you read straight the invitation of the court, charging means reading out a plea. That has not been done.
The accused will be brought in the same court on Friday this week for plea taking. Electin Odera, K24 TV.
Meanwhile, the finance chair, Kuria Kimani, has hinted that it will be difficult to remove the 2.5% motor vehicle tax as long as the budget for the next financial year remains unchanged. Kimani argues that the 58 billion shillings expected from the tax is crucial for financing the upcoming fiscal budget. He says without this tax, there would be a significant budget deficit affecting critical sectors that have already been allocated funds. Here's Joel Chacha with the details.
The second week of the public hearing on the Finance Bill 2024 started today, while the Finance Committee Chair Kuria Kimani hinted that scrapping the contentious motor vehicle tax might not be possible.
The easiest thing is to just cut the budget. Let's cut the budget. But when you're moving the finance bill, everyone wants to oppose it. Okay? When you're moving the appropriations bill, everyone wants to increase it. So that is irony, that members of parliament want their budget increased, but they don't want the taxes increased.
He argues that the tax is expected to generate 58 billion Kenya shillings, which is necessary to avoid a budget deficit that could impact key sectors.
I was asking National Treasury what the financial implication is, and the projections around 58.02 billion. And so, on the other option then, if we have to really get rid of it, would be to reduce the budget by 58 billion.
However, the Association of Kenya Insurance have rejected the tax, warning that it could lead to an increase in the number of vehicle owners evading insurance coverage, which currently stands at 1.5 million out of 3 million vehicles on the roads.
So,
If we introduce a tax, because this is where I'm going, if we introduce this tax, we are going to make sure that even these 1.5 million people who have come through to buy insurance cover, they could very easily drop through the cracks and not come for insurance cover, because by not coming for insurance cover, they will be evading the tax.
The association further cited implications of the clause in the finance bill, with massive job losses for agents, brokers, and even mechanics, while owners who involved in accidents will count losses in millions.
Our feel is so strong that Kenyans will stop taking out insurance, comprehensive insurance covers. And this has two double effects. One, that the penetration, the contribution of insurance to the GDP, of course, will come down. But more importantly, we'll be exposing Kenyans to out-of-pocket expenses, as and when you either lose your car to theft, or whether you lose your car, or whether your car gets damaged as a result of an accident.
Joel Chacha, K24 TV, Nairobi.
A startling revelation from the Controller of Budget, Margaret Nyakango, now sheds light on ministries diverting funds meant for service delivery towards excessive foreign and local travel expenses. Amidst calls for austerity measures, travel expenditure surged to 18.18 billion shillings, up from 14.7 billion shillings in the previous fiscal year. Here's Martin Opio with a report that 35 departments, including significant entities like State House and the Office of the Deputy President, refused to furnish Nyakango with data regarding their foreign trips, raising concerns about transparency and accountability.
The report, dubbed National Implementation Report, has seen Control of Budget lament over failure by key ministry and department to comply with the law, which requires them to submit comprehensive travel data. The Controller of Budget, Margaret Nyakango, laments that she requested MDAs to submit information on foreign travel to enable review and analysis of compliance with government directives on foreign travel, but some did not submit. 35 ministries, departments and agencies, MDAs, did not submit their foreign travel data as required by Office of the Control of Budget circular. With those that submitted data, several discrepancies were noted, indicating inconsistencies and potential inaccuracies in the reported information. These include Office of the Deputy President, Office of the Prime Cabinet Secretary, State House, State Department for Correctional Services, State Department for Foreign Affairs, State Department for Basic Education, the National Treasury, State Department for Medical Services, State Department for Shipping and Maritime Affairs, as well as Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, among others. But Control of Budgets laments that in the first 9 months of the financial year 2023-2024, travelling expenditure amounted to 18.18 billion shillings in total for all MDAs, compared to 14.07 billion shillings recorded in a similar period for financial year 2022-2023. This comprised domestic travel at 12.33 billion shillings and 5.85 billion shillings for foreign travel. Expenditure on insurance was 13.89 billion Kenya shillings, and specialized materials and supplies were listed as 7.94 billion Kenya shillings. Rent and rates on non-residential buildings were at 6.61 billion shillings, while hospitality stood at 4.68 billion Kenya shillings. Nevertheless, Nyakango notes that the growth in travel expenses shows that MDS budgeted for traveling under the use of goods and services. The Control of Budget recommends compliance with government guidelines relating to non-core expenses, including domestic and foreign travel. The directives include limiting the delegation headed by cabinet secretaries to 4 persons and limiting the cumulative days away to a maximum of 7 days per travel, 15 days per quarter and 45 days per year. Travel clearance application should also be submitted at least 7 working days before the travel date. The report places the Office of the President with a spending of 21.3 million shillings, 121.04 million shillings for the DP's office. Prime Cabinet Secretary gobbled 61.11 million, with State House, on the other hand, used 147.66 million shillings on foreign travels between July 1st, 2022 and March 31st, 2023. Between 31st July and March 31st, 2024, the 4 MDAs, which refused to submit their travel data, totaled to 98.8 million shillings spent by the executive on foreign travels alone. The revelations by the Controller of Budget, Margaret Nyakango, are coming amidst austerity measures that the government had proposed to inject to government, including foreign travels. President Ruto, amidst uproar on the Astral jet, has defended his US trip and other trips abroad as one bringing aboard fortunes for the country.
I was pleasantly surprised that each and every parastatal was willing to contribute to making sure that we live within our means. And each one of them went back and they have submitted their reports. And they have actually reduced their recurrent budgets by 30%.
Nyakango in her report reveals that the outstanding national government pending bills as of 31st March 2024 amounted to 486.8 billion shillings compared to 529.53 billion shillings reported as of 31st March 2023. This comprised of 405.28 billion shillings, 83% for state corporations compared to 450.24 billion shillings, and 81.51 billion shillings for MDAs compared to 79.29 billion recorded in a similar period for financial year 2022-2023 respectively. Martin Opio, K24 TV, Nairobi.
The Independent Policing Oversight Authority, IPOA, has condemned the latest incident in which a motorist assaulted a police officer in Kasarani, describing it as a disregard for the rule of law. The statement follows the arrest of the suspect, Ian Njoroge, who was captured on camera attacking a traffic police officer during a traffic stop in Mirema. Here's Milia Kisienya with the details.
A video of Ian Njoroge attacking a police officer along Mirema Drive has sparked wide reactions. The incident began with a traffic stop by Corporal Jacob Ongendo, which led to Njoroge's unexpected assault. He was arrested hours later and subjected to a brief but harsh interrogation by individuals presumed to be police officers.
Unarujua kupiga askari? Sijapiga askari. Haujapiga askari? Ulifanya nini? Tena. Ulifanya nini leo?
The incident has drawn various reactions online, with the latest statement coming from the Independent Policing Oversight Authority. In a statement to the newsrooms, IPOA chairperson Anne McCurry has condemned the attack as a total disregard of the law. She has, however, called on Kenyans to use the right mechanism when they feel disgruntled about policing services. Following Ian Njoroge's arrest, he is likely to face several charges including physical assault and attempted murder. If found guilty of assaulting a uniformed police officer, he could face up to 10 years in prison, a fine of 1 million Kenya shillings, or both, according to the Police Act. Milia Kisienya, K24 TV.
Legislators from the Coast region, convened under the Coast Parliamentary Group, have rallied behind their governor's decision to prohibit muguka, a stimulant deemed hazardous. He is Boniface Musangi with the details.
The coast battle against the muguka menace has now entered the legislative arena, with regional leaders pledging to elevate the fight to the National Assembly.
Tutaenda ndani ya bunge ili tubadilishe sheria ambazo zinagandamiza ama zinafanya muguka uuzwe hapa kwetu.
Chair of the Coastal Parliamentary Group, Danson Moshako, has condemned muguka as harmful substance, endorsing the coastal governor's ban and advocating for an amendment to the Crop Act to remove muguka as a cash crop.
Muguka unaua mbegu ama chembe za kiume, sperms, ndio kwa asilimia kubwa sana zaidi ya 50. Na tumesema kwamba tukiendelea kukula huu mgukaa kwa watoto wetu wa kivulana na hata wa kisichana, basi miaka kidogo ijayo tutakuwa hatuna jamii ya kujivunia.
Ninyi mkifundisha watoto wenu huko kwa sababu ya mgukaa, huku kuna vijana wengi ambao hawaendi shule, wana drop, wamekuwa zombies kwa sababu ya mgukaa. Kwa hivyo tuangalie yale madhara, tusiangalie sana the economic benefits.
Pana kusikiza wa Embu peke yao kuweka pesa 500 million katika sumu ya mogoka kwetu ni kejeli.
In a rare display of unity, lawmakers from both the ruling United Democratic Alliance UDA and the opposition ODM, led by Deputy Majority Leader Owen Baya and Yala member Hassan Omar, have criticized President William Ruto's stance on the mogoka ban, urging him to remain neutral in addressing the conflict.
We also form vigilante groups. Hii mogoka kama hata watu wamesema ingie, sisi tutasema haitaingia, because hata sisi if they think they have power na watu sisi tulisikia wanatu threaten hatu watakuja huku, hata sisi tunaweza waambia hizo gari tutarudisha na tukan either reduce tuzirudisha kama magari ama kama jivu. So mimi nataka niwaambie sisi hatutakuwa waoga na wao, na tunasema mogoka hapa Mombasa na coast nzima haitauzwa, na kama wanataka kutulazimisha tutapambana na wao.
Hatuwezi kukubali sumu hapa. Ni kama watu wanavyosema kama lazima hiyo sumu iuzwe na uchumi uimarike. Ndugu yangu Cecily ambaye mimi ni naibu wake mwenyekiti katika UDA, mimi nitakuja kumsaidia kufanya marketing Embu, lakini watu wetu na jamii zetu aziwache.
As far as Kilifi is concerned and Coast Region is concerned, we are going to protect ourselves against this drug if the government will not going to stand with us. Kama ni magari kuchomwa yatachomwa, na hata kama ni vifo vitatokea, manake tunajua athari ambazo zinakuja na mogoka ni zaidi ya faida ambayo iko na mogoka.
These leaders have declined to meet with Agriculture Cabinet Secretary Mithika Linturi, insisting on discussions solely with President Ruto.
Na wabunge pia wale ambao wataalikwa tunaomba kwamba wasihudhurie, na magavana pia tumewaambia wasihudhurie kwa sababu tunajua mkutano huo hautatoa mwafaka wowote.
Si sawa, si heshima kwamba wenzetu walikana rais, sisi tukakae na waziri. Hatuwezi kufanya kitu kama hiyo.
National Assembly Minority Leader Opiyo Ndai affirmed ODM Azimio unwavering support for the bill, pledging solidarity with the coastal leaders in their crusade against mogoka.
It's not in the objective interest of this country to continue to allow for the rampant consumption of mogoka with its obviously adverse effects on the lives of our young people. So this debate must continue.
Msangi, K24, Mombasa.
A lorry ferrying a tank of liquefied petroleum gas burst into flames yesterday around Feather Estate, Nairobi County, near a bus terminal. Video clips from the incident showed a huge smoke engulfing the area at around noon, and is suspected to have left 2 people injured. Robio Mundi reports.
This was the scene following an explosion of a lorry ferrying a tank of liquefied petroleum gas around Feather Estate in Nairobi County.
Sasa vile tulikuwa tumefuatana na lori imegonga reli. Vile imegonga reli ikaanza kutoa gasi. Sasa wakati nimeona niende hivi, huku kulikuwa na watu. Sasa ndio nikaepesha hapa, ikanifikia mimi, nikatoka mbio kwa dirisha, nikaepa mbio. Niliona gas imetoka mingi ikinifuata huku.
Nilitembea kitu kama 30 meters ndio ikalipuka. Ile ya mlipuko ya kwanza ikarudi ikalipuka tena mara ya pili na mara ya tatu ikalipuka, sasa ikaanza kutoka ikienda juu.
The midday incident prompted emergency service providers to rush to the scene, evacuating residents for their safety.
Dereva wa hii alikuja akauliza atafanya nini, nikamwambia usijaribu kupiga starter, na ule wa Nissan atoe kama wamesukuma, lakini asiignite. But makosa huyu yeye hakupiga starter yake, lakini ule wa Nissan alipiga starter. Wakati wameisukuma wamefika pale mahali sasa ipo, ndio wakaiwakisha, ikarusha moto hapa na moto ikarudi tena kwa Nissan. Sasa hivyo ndio kulishika moto, ikawa sasa inalipuka.
Nairobi Police Boss Adamson Bungei reported that traffic flow on the road was blocked, urging motorists to seek alternative routes.
Juu kitu ya kwanza wamekuja kama hiyo gasi yenyewe imeisha, wamekuja kuzima tu ile moto ya nini. Ingekuwa sasa ni ile kitu serious watu kama ni kukufa wangekufa wengi. So Nairobi, serikali ya kaunti ya Nairobi wajaribu tu tafadhali kukua na haraka kidogo juu imeteke karibu 1 hour ndio wafike.
The fire incident comes months after another gas explosion happened in Embakasi area, leaving several people dead and scores injured.
Wale wa kuzima wamechukua muda, ilikuwa ilete shida mpaka kwa hao wakaaji. Lakini kwa sasa tunashukuru casualties ni mmoja na amepelekwa hospitali. Kwa sasa hivi tunaona kumetulia, moto imezimwa.
The cause of today's incident is still unknown and is suspected to have left 2 people injured.
Sasa kwa hiyo harakati ya moto imewaka, huyo mmoja ametolewa na ambulance, amebebwa ameenda.
Robi Omondi, K24.
The National Police, together with the county government of Machakos, have launched investigations into the alleged suicide of one of the residents who worked as a bus tout at the Machakos County bus park. The deceased is believed to have committed suicide after numerous run-ins with policing authorities.
Business at the Machakos bus park was today morning brought to a standstill after one of the touts was arrested by the Machakos City Inspectorate, committed suicide in his cell. Alan Musembi, one of the furious and agitated witnesses demanding for explanations, questioned the conduct of the officers, raising concerns on how the arrest was conducted.
Tunashangaa ni namna gani askari wetu wa Kanjo wanachukua mtu wanamweka seli bila kumfanya peksheni, bila kumwangalia na nini wala nini. Hivi leo ukiangalia kijana amejinyonga na amejinyonga na mshipi wake, ambapo ni sheria mtu akitiwa korokoroni hafai kuingia na vitu ambavyo anaweza kutumia kumaliza ama kujitoa uhai.
Machakos County Secretary Muyenda Mbunki, flanked by the Chief of Staff Lawrence Ngovi, assured the residents that speedy investigations into the matter had been launched, reiterating that civil servants should be guided by a code of conduct at all times whenever they are conducting their duties.
As a government, we do not condone, and we cannot condone any acts if there was, if that is established, carelessness or recklessness on the part of our people. But let us leave it to the police force so that they investigate and finally give us their findings.
Residents to this end believe that the county's City Inspectorate should be taken through refresher courses and training on their conduct, as they say they've become notorious at harassing residents and business people.
Gavana yetu ni gavana tunampenda na tunajua kazi ile anatenda. Tunataka achunguze kabisa hao askari walikuwa wamemshika. Kwa nini alikuwa kwanza ameshikwa? Na alikuwa amebukiwa wapi? Na mtu akiwekwa seli awekangwi na vitu kama mshipi, kama kamba, kama vitu kama hizo. Kwa nini amewekwa na vitu kama hizo akiwekwa kwa seli? Ndio tunauliza kwa unyenyekevu tupatiwe hiyo mambo kabisa, ili wananchi wa Machakos waridhike na tujue kazi inaendelea mzuri.
Let's take a break on New Dawn. When we come back, a look at us making headlines on the dailies on this Tuesday, the 4th of June. A look at the front page of the People Daily there. The front page says Ruto's 1.1 billion shillings for luxury rejected. As it turns out, State House requested for 1.1 billion shillings to be allocated for, among other things, purchase of more cars and renovation of the presidential dais. It's a paper, it's a story we'll be taking a look at on page 8 of the People Daily, as well as other headlines and other news making headlines on the dailies. Do stay with us. This is New Dawn.